No.
You don't want to try it?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I'm telling you, it's the right thing to do.
Okay.
It's the right thing to do.
You haven't had any feta cheese back there.
No, I ain't got no more fat. I had some.
What kind of cheese you got? You never shred?
Shredded Mexican beef.
I'll take a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll take a little bit too, Chris, if you don't mind.
Okay, y'all
I
black.
like this though.
Y'all black.
Real black. Yeah, real black Chris.
Cheese on the side.
Yes.
I normally feta cheese on my salad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna turn hit the camera button at the bottom. I think you turned it.
He really did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
He turned
he's
it.
shooting the backside.
All right, there we go. He's shooting the backside. Everybody talking over there.
So which one I'm talking about?
Who they talking about? I don't see nobody.
Yeah.
Yep. So everybody, you're listening to Politics, Food and Fun with me, Towanna Murphy, on WDM 98.5 FM. You can catch this show live on iHeartRadio, WDM, Spotify, WDM, YouTube. You can also go to YouTube and listen live, Facebook and Twitter. I am live on all of those social media sites as well as Facebook Live. My special guest today is Pastor Charlie Caswell.
He ain't even bless his food. He just started eating, man. We're going to appreciate that.
I did that just my own work. I covered my own.
He got his own like, hey, man. That's it. That's all. That's what he did.
Right.
Then I got Pastor Earl Fisher in here with me. And also the one and only, the unanimous.
He the man.
He the man. He the man.
He the man, man.
Osborne Flipp Sykes is with me today. And we are going to discuss some of the stuff that's happening in the city of Memphis. Of course, this is election season. Many of us know it's election season. And with election season, there comes all kind of foolishness that we have to deal with. Not only that, we are talking with Mr. Sykes, and he's going to explain to you exactly what his organization is about. Because I'm actually going to jump off with him first and let him go ahead and explain to you what his organization is about and what he's trying to do from here.
Okay, my organization is. Should I look at the camera?
You don't have to just talk.
Okay. My organization is just what it is. PFG 300 strong. The PFG, it stands for Players for God. We came up with that slogan in 1996, I believe it was. And it means in this game of life, there's only two coaches, God and the devil, who you play for.
Keep talking. Keep going.
And I got two ministers here with me at the table, and that's a blessing. And that's what it's going to take, all of us to get together, people like me in my field, which is real estate and moving around and being independent. That's my main job, is to stay independent.
Mm-hmm.
So I can be able to move freely and do what I want to do. And it takes a lot of God in you to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for everything we got, for people like you guys. And then look at the show. Look what that show did.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people may have thought it was going to end up negative, but it ended up putting me at the table with 3 distinguished people in the city of Memphis, and that's what it's going to take.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take all of us to get together and create a think tank and let the average everyday people out there be our motor, our machine that's keeping us moving. But we got to be moving on the behalf of the people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel. The people is money. That's what I was trying to explain to him when he rudely interrupted me.
So the folks who may be listening that don't know what you referenced,
Oh,
you got to give them a general overview of what you're talking about in terms of what show. Because as we were talking about offline,
a lot of people don't know.
Right, a lot of people don't know. Right.
People who might be.
And I didn't find out until somebody tagged me in it. And so I didn't know what was going on.
You give them a little backdrop on it since you're the host.
Well,
Smart move.
It was smart move. That was real smart. Mr. Sykes was on Thaddeus Matthews' show Friday. And of course, we are talking about what he was trying to get across to Mr. Matthews at that time on Friday. For some reason, it kind of got a little bit out of hand. Now, I'm not knowing really what happened when it got out of hand. I just know that it got out of hand. And it was some words exchanged. But let me just back it up a little bit. In the beginning, I heard that Thaddeus Matthews was a little rude to Mr. Sykes. And actually, he was rude throughout the interview. So even when he was trying to explain some stuff, he still was kind of like hit and miss on it. Like, it is what it is. You know, you wouldn't serve him no water. You gave him some dry wine, and he didn't want the wine. You gave him some water.
No, he didn't give me the wine. See, we ain't.
Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. See, explain that with the wine. Oh, you came in with the wine.
I came in with the wine
Okay, now I got it.
knew what had happened the previous day.
There we go.
We had the interview on Friday, which was a compromise, actually.
Okay.
I actually compromised. The show was actually supposed to be aired on Thursday, the 19th.
Okay.
But he called me that day, not even 4 hours before the show was supposed to go, and tried to cancel. Well, he didn't try. He canceled the show out and tried to get me to do it sometime the following week, which would be this week. But I wasn't sure if I was going to even be in the city of Memphis this week. So I was like, what you can do is just transfer me my money back. And when I'm ready to do it again, we'll start the process all over again. And when I told him that, he said, no, it is no refund. But I have the contract with the date, the time, and everything when the show was actually supposed to take place. So that's our contract.
Okay.
So if I break the contract and said I can't do it, I can understand. You keep the money and then we'll do the show another time. He probably wouldn't even wanted to do the show another time because he all about money, which I'm seeing now. He just wants your money. He don't care what you're talking about, what you got going. Because ironically, if you see it, he say he's for black people, but we doing a show. The show was titled "Will Black Men Ever Unite?" And in my advertisement, it says King Flipp versus Thaddeus. He got on the show and said, I don't know why he put versus, because I'm like, you versus because in the beginning when I told you what the show was going to be about, I asked you plainly, do you think that black men will unite? And you said adamantly, emphatically, no. So that puts you in opposition to me. That's why I said King Flipp. My opinion is yes. So on the show, that's why you see what I'm saying. He don't think we gonna unite, and we not gonna unite because of people like him standing as roadblocks to keep us from unite. But he not a roadblock because it's not gonna be everybody unite anyway. The righteous don't unite with the unrighteous. The righteous don't unite with the wicked. The righteous and the wicked are like oil and water, and that's plainly what you see on that film. If you look at it, oil and water, we don't mix. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You weren't about to soften me up. You got softened up
You ain't
on
supposed to
your
laugh.
own
I'm
show.
gonna laugh.
Now I got to look at this show. See if you
I
see the
see
show.
it.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was kind of iffy about in and out, because some stuff I know, some stuff I don't know. So I just wanted to make sure I had clarity on it. So when you say you brought the wine in, but you asked him for some water
Because
because
my
the
mouth
wine was dry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm paying you money. If you got a professional, you doing like you offer your guests some water or whatever. Let's look at you. Look how professional you are. I come in here, we got salad to eat. There ain't no telling what else he got in the back. You see what I'm saying?
He said he got some salmon, some chicken
on the bricks.
And you understand this? I haven't paid her a dime.
Nope.
You understand?
So part of what you're saying, if I'm understanding correctly, because I want to be able to follow the conversation as righteously as possible, is you pay money to be on this particular show, not this show, but on the show that you were talking about, and you paid the money to promote your initiative.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And he tried to kick me out within 10 minutes into the show. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I can go, but you're going to have to give me my money back.
I want my money back. Because you didn't get what you, I'm in agreement with that, because you didn't get what you're supposed to get out that show. If I paid you to be on that show for 2 hours, 1 hour, then you give me my time.
You gotta give me my time.
Whether you like what I said or not.
We didn't get into it like that until he told me, I ain't giving you nothing back. Oh, no, you got me. You feel?
Trucked up.
Yeah.
All of that. Whichever one you want to say. And then I was already, people don't understand when I say, oh, you going to, because I used the word be, but I didn't use the word be in reference to the young lady that he was talking to. I used the word be because that's what he was calling her. See, I'm talking about another show. Have y'all seen the show with him talking to the young lesbian?
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Oh, watch. I'm just saying, you got to have, you got to have a little bit of knowledge about your enemy. See, I kind of already knew from the conversation on the phone. When I had that conversation on the phone with him, when he tried to, we ended up compromising. I compromised to go and do the show on the next day because I knew he was trying to keep my money. And if I didn't do that show and he didn't give me my money back, it would have been a problem for real. So I went head on and tried to do the show.
So
But
you from Memphis?
I'm from Memphis.
Yeah.
And after I had that conversation with him, I went straight to wherever I went and did a little research on him and started looking at these videos. And I caught the video with him having the young lesbian chick on the show doing something. I don't know what went on, but he asked her, like, oh, would you have gave him some of that whole dyke pee if he'd have gave you the right amount of money? And then she looked at him like, well, would you have gave him some of your straight booty if he'd have gave you the right amount of money? And he looked at her and was like, hold up, ho, you got me twisted. I'll smack you such and such, I'll do this to you right here on live TV. And then he right there, big man, in front of this small woman, threatening this woman to beat this woman down on national TV. See, I saw this with my eyes. That's why it was already in me too. I'm like, this dude ain't, you see what I'm saying? I'm like, I didn't go to the show to do that, but that came out. That's why I was saying, smack me. Smack me like you was gonna do.
Well, I got it clearly on the table. I
understand what I'm saying. Dude, he stood. Why wouldn't a person? Why didn't a person come up out of nowhere and get between you and this woman when you was threatening this woman?
Yes. And this is fragrant tomatoes with papanon.
No.
Thank you.
Let the chef introduce the meal.
Y'all been messing up my life.
It's rumulade. It's a
Rumulade.
It's a shrimp rumulade.
I got you.
Homemade.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
You gonna big up the chef on the
Huh?
You gonna big up?
Oh.
I'm gonna let you do it after you taste it.
Right. You gotta taste it.
Authentic build up.
Look, I'm already clear. Number one, black man, right?
Right.
Which is black owned business.
I can't deny that.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm already supportive.
I appreciate
Because
that.
we want folk to win.
Right.
We want to win.
I'm gonna come back to your point about
Right,
us
'cause we wanna
and
win.
roadblocks and all this other stuff. But yeah, I just wanted you to be able to lift the brother up.
Oh, everybody know
Oh,
Chris.
we gonna do it.
We've been hitting it. Everybody know Chris. And this is asparagus.
But see, now you got some different people on the
And
show
on
this
the
time.
show.
They
Really
got
about
different
to
people
know.
that get that
So
work.
they all bring
See
Chris
what I'm
to
saying?
me. Because you know what? We've been doing it so much every day. So
I know,
y'all, you
I
know
know.
Chris?
I know.
Chris is the owner of asparagus.
Yeah.
He has, y'all see the salad, right? Everybody know he got the fried salad.
Oh,
Fried
okay.
chicken.
That's what it's called.
Asparagus. Yeah.
That's who you. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this
we
is
networking now. We gonna
this is his establishment. Fine food, fine dining.
Yeah.
And I can talk to you about something else too.
Yeah.
I got something going on.
Well
there
rounded.
you can be-
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
need that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I need that.
And I'm gonna dive into the shrimp in a second.
Right.
Yeah. That's
And because, you know what,
he.
Chris supports me in what I'm trying to do, and so
That's what
we're
it's
back
all
and forth.
about.
So part
Work
of
it
what I think is so first the conversation is fascinating just
Right.
in terms of context of what happened, on the show that you were on and what have you. But you were saying something earlier about us being in this campaign climate, this election season,
Mm-hmm.
and so that makes some of what we choose to talk about critically important.
Mm-hmm.
So context always matters. What I'm more fascinated by is your initiative to try to unify people under certain banners and certain principles and stuff like that. You talk about the righteous and the unrighteous and stuff like that. And I think all of us here at the table, especially over the past several months, have found the need to try to unify people under certain ideas. And for me, it's been voter empowerment. Like, what does it mean for us to live in a city that is majority black, but the ways in which we engage in the political landscape oftentimes benefit people who aren't black?
Mm-hmm.
And what does it mean for us to be in a space where the last time we had a mayoral election, only 28% of registered voters participated?
Mm-hmm.
And as the numbers stand right now, we might not make it to 28% in this election unless some things change over the next several weeks. And so one of the things I've been passionate about that y'all know, and most of your viewers probably know, is the organization Up the Vote 901, which is this nonpartisan initiative who aims to give more political power to more people through power, information, and representation, and increasing voter turnout in Memphis and Shelby County. So for me, that's the types of things that I would like to see people organize around and behind. People know about the Memphis People's Convention from back in June that we put together. And what has been interesting to me is you talk about the conversation you had on radio shows and what have you. I mean, from media to barbershop talk to beauty shop talk to faith communities. Pastor Charlie, you familiar with some of this? Just the ways in which people have been talking about some of these efforts to simply get more people involved in the political process. It's almost like there are people who really don't want more people involved, especially not more black people. Definitely don't want more people informed and engaged and empowered and involved. If anything else, they cool with a small number of people being manipulated and being exploited so that the conditions that we talk about, all of us at the table want to see change, have less likelihood of changing. Because you might shift the play. You said something before we got on air about the chessboard, right? Well, sometimes, people are on the chessboard, but they ain't playing chess, they playing checkers. So all you got to do is move the piece over, but it don't matter because all of them have the same function. Chess is a lot more complicated. And so sometimes we need to learn how to play chess. Matter of fact, the partner in crime that I have with Upperville 901, C.J. Walter Crawford, he is an avid chess player, right? Now, I'm sure he can tell you way better than I can. I'm former athlete, so I talk more about basketball sports terms, stuff like that in terms of strategy. But the bottom line is knowing you can't just shuffle around the same people on the same board and think you're going to ultimately end up with a different result. Like, what do we do to get more people involved, especially people who hadn't been given access to the game the way you talk about it or the way we like to think about it. So that's some of the stuff that I really want to spend some time talking about because I had to learn. I don't know if this would be the hard way, but I did have to learn on the fly relatively quickly that people will use you and your platform to give them access to a certain network that they couldn't have access to. Right. And they would try to exploit your name and stuff like that. So even some of the people who write articles and stuff now, who usually try to put my name in it, like I don't even respond to them no more, or if I do respond, I don't say their name. I don't tag their article or something like that because some of that stuff is just fluff and exploitation. But I do think when we gather in spaces like this, people do need to hear us talk about concrete, substantive issues that are impacting people, even though I know it's important sometimes to talk about what has happened in the context and how people have treated us too.
But it still all ties into what he's saying and what you're doing and what Charlie is doing, because he's trying to empower the black people on a whole different level so that when stuff happens, we can still and correct me if I'm wrong. If we got all these businessmen, such as yourself, such as Chris, such as Charlie, and other businessmen that get into the organization in which he's trying to create, when we have issues such as we got a family that's burned out, can we go get them some money? Let's get them a house. Let's put them back in another house. Let's help them furnish it. Bam. If everybody paying monthly fees, I'm not sure if I'm correct, so correct me if I'm wrong. And we paying monthly fees to get into this business, to get into this organization, we can basically dominate the city. As a black people, as brown and black people, we can dominate that. When we say minority contracts, and when I talk about minority contracts, and somebody threw it at me the other day, minority contracts can be me, a woman. It can be a white woman. It can be a Chinese woman. But in a percentage of black and brown people, we have 1% that's minority. So if we use what he got, what you have, and what Charlie has, and we combine that, we can up those numbers, we can up those percentages, and we can get whoever we want in office because literally we can do it.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are you guys currently together already?
Yeah.
We work together. All of us work together.
One way or another.
Yeah.
One way or another.
And one of the things is that I love about Pastor Earl Fisher, even though like Earl, like you said, he'll go there and I go there, but I go in my way. But I respect Earl because Earl is Pastor Earl is a straight shooter, and he is for the people. He's truly for the people, and so and I recognize he's different. I'm not offended about how different he is. He's not offended by how my difference, how I approach things, because he see that what we do is for the people, right? We're doing it for our communities. We're trying to make our communities strong. Been doing this a long time. This ain't just overnight for us. And I know Towanna been in this a long time. So my focus is, as well as each of these, is that how do we unite? But what you just said earlier is that some people want us to stay traumatized by each other so that we can continue to get divided, because as long as you don't know something, I can make money off your ignorance, right? And so people have figured out how to keep people ignorant. I was in the business. I started a car wash out the trunk of my car when I was 17 years old. When I was 19 years old, I owned my own car dealership. You know what I found out? I made money off people who wouldn't even do the simplest things to be able to make money themselves. So that's what we have to understand, is that people see you making moves like that. They figure out how can they build off your platform as well. So you got to recognize that and know how to disconnect yourself from those type of people. Look for the righteous people. I say this: it's more of us who are going to do the right thing than there are those who not. And so my focus is on those who are doing the right thing. Maybe even if they're not doing it the way I do it, because I know we got different parts in this race. But our overall base is to make our communities better, and our city better, and our people better. Because we know as a people we've been robbed for lack of knowledge, and because we rejected that knowledge, our children are now perishing. So we seeing what's happening in our community, we missed our opportunities to build off the foundation that man really is. If you go back in our history, I know the doctor know better than I. Is that a lot of what they do come from our culture as a people. You know, and so it was
Africa taught the world.
Of course.
Who are they?
Yeah.
I'm talking about systems.
I want to jump into that. So here's something of what you said, and I want to try to come back to this analogy or a metaphor that came to me last night. But I want to borrow some 5% of theology.
Okay.
So the 5%ers would argue this, and I think that there's some merit to it, that 85% of the people are ignorant, blindly ignorant, right? Or maybe even persuadable, right? So that leaves 15%. They would say 10% know the truth, but manipulate the truth to exploit the 85%, right? So this is where I would push back a little bit, because you say the majority of us are doing good. I think the majority of us fall in the 85%, which means we're going to be persuaded to behave in a certain way, either by the 10% or the 5%ers would say 5% of us have access to the light and treat it righteously.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So most of us would identify the people who.
Can I get in right there?
Sure.
5% are the poor righteous teachers. My philosophy is that now is the time for the 5% to turn into the not PRT, but the double RT, rich righteous teachers. Because you can't do nothing for people poor.
Right.
That's all I'm doing. And you see, you saying the 5%.
Yeah.
You said the 85.
Right.
Are you an 85 or a 5?
So I'm a 5.
You're a 5,
right?
Watch.
Or at least I would consider myself a 5.
So the 5 is the brain.
The brain.
Right.
Jesus said, when the Bible said, we make the body of Christ. There are many different moving parts. That's why what I did yesterday with the audience that character has was the perfect thing to do. I didn't know that at first. My spirit, I had to get down, like, man, I had to apologize to myself. Now I was doing this. My spirit told me, you did exactly what you were supposed to be doing on his show. On her show, now if I stood up and started cussing all y'all out, telling I'm about to beat y'all ass, something wrong with me.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
We, PFG, players for God, are the 5%.
Part of
It's
the
going to
5%.
turn into
Part of the 5%. I got you.
Right.
It's not part.
So you the entire 5%?
PFG. Because you can keep doing what you're doing.
And then that would make him PFG.
You already PFG from birth.
From birth.
Okay,
Because you're righteous.
Right.
And it's going to not just us in Memphis, people all over the world. Once we put it out there, now I started in Memphis. You know why? I got the reason why I started in Memphis. You know why? Because Martin Luther King. It said that in the Bible, if you live by the sword,
Die by sword.
you die by the sword. So what's the reverse of that? If you don't live by the sword, you shouldn't die by the sword. They shot his head off here in Memphis.
Yeah.
And what they say, you covered by the what?
By the blood.
Did his blood not drip out of his body down onto the ground? So this the first city we gonna take over because of the blood. What's said right here, the innocent, righteous blood of Martin Luther King. That's why I can be as bold as I wanted to.
I think you should be too. And let me say something about
Rightfully
that.
so.
So if we're gonna take over, just going back to like what we do, what the 5% would do with the 85%, right? Because the 10% are the people who know but choose to do the negative stuff. So the metaphor that came to me, or the analogy that came to me, and I know if you've been doing some work on the front lines, you know what I'm about to say to a degree is true, right?
Come on with it.
So doing faith work or movement work or ministry work can be oftentimes like pulling up to a house that's on fire. And then you grab water hoses and buckets.
Okay.
the people who suffer from the fire, sometimes got 2nd and 3rd degree burns, start coming at you talking about where you get that water from.
Right.
Why you using that bucket and where you get that hose from.
Exactly.
So they ask more questions of the people trying to put the fire out than they do of ever figuring out who the arsonists are.
Yeah.
So the arsonists are the 10% in this analogy, right?
Okay.
And so, but the 85%, or too many people in the 85% seem to be focusing more on trying to micromanage the 5% than they do trying to hold the 10% account.
Well, when you talk about that and you understand the research and everything behind trauma as a child, when you train up a child in the way they should go, if they were trained and that becomes their norm, then that's what they react to.
Sure.
They just doing what they know to do. Unless you create a new culture and a new mindset and renewing them a right spirit, they're going to continue to hold on to the one that they got. Why? That's comfortable in for them. And so we can't go in and think, because this, again, it bags it up time and time again. You talk about the epigenetic. People say you act just like your daddy. What happened to your daddy is transferred through the DNA. I mean, he gave it out. He made each out his own kind. And the thing is that what we're not confined, wrap our mind about is looking where we come from, so that we don't repeat what happened to us and become better people who we supposed to be. But we have allowed them to write the narrative. Systems have write the narrative. Why? The system, see, I look at it this way. When we talk about the wealth of the wicked transferred to the hands of the righteous, a lot of times we in the black community been looking at the dope man money and all the hope man money, but it's systems that been created. It's that wealth transfer. When we get our knowledge right, they can't take our tax dollars and use it for that, because we cleaned up our own community and we got our own people working together. So what you telling me my tax dollars are used for more police in my neighborhood? That don't need to happen, because no crime, none of that ain't going on. And that's when we messed up. You get to that point when you educate the people that is not what's wrong with them, is what happened to them. And then let them understand and get them to understand what happened. See, many times we don't want to face what happened. We just want to go on and cover it up.
Right.
And so now the time people ain't talking about what the fact they've been molested. They ain't talked about what dad and auntie them been doing in their family for generations, and they still doing it but covering it up under the so-called anointing, but they ain't got no glory.
It ain't no glory.
And they changed in their life.
Tawanna such the amen corner, right? You get started in a sentence and then she finishes it like,
amen.
You know?
I'm listening and I'm like, I know where you're going to go with this.
Right.
I know where you're going.
So first, what you have put on the table is definitely a necessary part of the matrix of our liberation. That we do have to identify these things and where they come from and the sources. You know, I'm thinking about Joy DeGraw Leary's book, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. I think that'll allow a lot of what you're saying in terms of the trauma piece and the epigenetics of it, right? But, and when we say systems, I want us to be able to identify that systems are not some abstract mechanism that functions and operates on its own. There are individuals who orchestrate. This is why I said arsonists, right? Like the building ain't just on fire because of some natural disaster.
Right.
The building is on fire because people set the fire.
Right.
And every time you get ready to put that bad boy out, they will set another one. And so now if you think about where we are in terms of this particular election, we end up in some critical spaces because you get an opportunity in every election to identify who got the water hoses, who got the buckets, and who's starting the fires. And who might be fanning the flames and pouring gas on the fires too. So that's what I think is important when you start talking about how to break this cycle. Because when you talked about the tax piece, I'm like, yes, because I love when my brothers and sisters and friends and kids start talking about nationalism as a movement, right? And how we should take care of our own and build up. I'm like, yes. So by the way, what are we going to do with all that tax money that we spend?
So the thing goes back to when we talk about systems, you know, you have the 7 mountains in the sense of influence. You got the mountains of politics, the mountains of religion, the mountains of education, the mountains of entertainment, the mountain of media, right? Families. Is that person who understands what his position is and his purpose is at that mountain. That's the 1%, those 5% who know how to control that mountain, right? And so until we understand that first of all, try to stop being in everybody's lane. That's the first thing. And then when we stop trying to be in everybody's lane, know what your lane is, get in that lane and control that mountain so that you can help the people that's coming up that mountain. That's how we begin to change. It's people, but watch this here. Many times we don't want people to know their purpose or who they are, because why? We don't want them to come to the top.
Yeah.
We've been profiting off that, and top look good if you looking down to other folks. And how do we break that mindset? Again, you got to go back to what happened to us.
Your mind not like that.
No.
So what are you talking about?
So I'm talking about people who have. I know my mind ain't.
Right.
It's the people who we trying to educate.
Nah, see. I don't like to speak abstractly like.
Okay, go ahead.
Say who mind is like that is in the way, and we'll move them out the way.
So let me say this.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
You got to identify.
You got to name
who
the
you talking
demon.
about.
Name
Name who you talking about.
He said,
You
call the demon
about
out.
somebody else. You say it ain't me, but what you talking about him for?
No.
Talking about what you gonna do.
Right.
You go, let's get you at the top of the mountain if your mind ain't like that.
Right.
That's what. Now I can focus. Now I know what we doing.
Right.
Because if you just saying, "Ooh, they mind," or who you talking about, so we can address these people.
When you're looking at 58% of black people,
I understand everything you
Go
saying.
ahead.
But it's a way to get to that. And what we missing is, you know what we missing?
What's that?
You ain't gonna get to none of this. You ain't gonna be able to talk to nobody. You ain't gonna be able to change their mind about how they grew up and tell them, educate them on who we know you was abused. You ain't gonna be able to do none of that without what?
You're going to say money.
I know where you're going.
Well,
Listen,
go ahead.
that's the key.
So I would say this.
Righteous people
You can do it
need
without
the money.
Look,
The
you can-
wicked got the money.
you can do it without money. You just can't do it at the same scale as you could with money.
We've been doing it without money.
Yeah,
We're not
right,
talking
right,
about scale.
yeah,
What you talking about? Taking over cities?
Yeah, right. You talking about scale?
No,
You talking about
Right.
taking over cities and
Economic.
doing this and changing the whole mind state of the whole world?
Yeah.
That's money.
So
That's
here's-
money.
I agree. And here's again why politics become important. Because at the end of the day, the people who you elect to office and the people who are appointed by people who are elected to office ultimately have a say in where a lot of the money in our community goes. That's what you're talking
Where
about.
the money is advocated.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
that's
second
the
to
issue
me.
that we have.
That's to me. That's secondary.
Yeah.
But-
you know what's first? Primary.
What is-
The people. All that you have to do is galvanize the people. The people go like, okay, you already got to pay taxes. They asked Jesus about this. Should we pay taxes? He said, yeah, give unto Caesar what is Caesar, man. Let Caesar do what he gonna do with that money. Okay, they got us in a position.
So I don't think that's what Jesus was saying, but please keep going, making your
Did he
point.
not say that?
He did say
Give unto
that.
Caesar what is Caesar's.
Right, but the implication of that is, because after he says give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, he says give unto God what is God.
Exactly. Now,
Which is to say, I don't want to push it too much
cut me off.
because I want you
That's what I was
to
about
make
to
a point.
say. That's exactly what I was about to say. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar. We already paying our taxes, right?
That ain't what Jesus is saying in that passage. But go ahead.
Go ahead,
make your point.
Let's make the point.
Go ahead.
Okay,
That's the point.
Give unto God what is God.
Uh-huh.
So if we represent God,
Right,
we PFG.
right.
Give us $3. That's all we need. Give us $3 a month. You get 300,000 people to give you $3 a month.
Right.
That's
That's
what
$900,000. This
that's what
outside.
taxes is. That's
Exactly. That's why I say you give unto Caesar what is Caesar,
But
and
look,
give unto God what is God.
look.
Hold up, my
Okay,
guy.
go ahead,
And
go
watch us what we do
Yeah.
with that $3.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna see how God moves. That's why you're gonna know that your tax money you giving to them has been
Mishandled.
mishandled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Watch what we do
Yeah.
with $3
Yeah.
a month.
So here,
I understand what I'm saying.
I am too. Look,
The people gon' that's what I was trying to tell him. I said it ain't about you, it's about the people. You think it's about you, you made the show about him. I'm like, I got on here to talk to the people, not you.
Yeah.
You understand? That's why I could did this.
Yeah.
Behind the scene, off the camera, whatever. It's about the people.
Yeah.
So if the people got the power. That's why Fred Hampton was saying all power to the people.
Yeah.
Because people got the power.
Sure.
The people just got to regulate where they putting their mony.
So
And we don't want all their money.
Yeah.
We just want $3.
when you say all
That way you
money-
can't complain. You can't say, oh, what they gonna do with the money? You just gave $3. Don't get it. That's the ones, you know what I'm saying? The ones who understand what we saying. But we got to be an entity first for them to believe in. Let's get them this money, and we the think tank. We the ones who gonna move with the money. And now, with all your ideas ain't just talk.
Yeah.
Now we got money to allocate towards whatever you want to put into fruition.
Right. So
understand what I'm
I understand what you're saying. And I say, go ahead, Pastor, you finish.
No, go ahead, jump in.
So I say this because I've been doing it a long time, and I had a lot of money when I was in company, but my mind wasn't right because of what happened to me. So I'm up there throwing money casino wild. I'm doing money the way that the world would have done it because that's my mind wasn't right? So getting money was not a problem for me. It was what I did when I got the money at that time, right? Because my mind was right. So I say this to that. So God had to bring me back to a place that where I've been able to get things done without the money. It was just because of the knowledge that I had. Other people paid for and supported what I needed to get done because of the mindset. So, yeah, go ahead.
Well, he about to have a fit about this salmon. Look at the Lord.
I feel it in my Evo shout out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, that looked good. But no, that's where I'm at, man. So I say this to that when we talk about the people and understanding to get them first to deal with what happened to them, because you look at the state of Tennessee, you got 12,000 churches in the state of Tennessee. It's 6.5 million. It's 3.1 million people in the state of Tennessee that say we Christian, we believers. If all of us gave $1 a month, that's $37 million a year. $37 million a year. We don't need government for half of what we talking about. We need government for. If we, the people, just took that $1 times the 3.1 and did it, that's $12 a year. That each one of us, 3.1 million, give collectively, we address what happened to our children and the trauma and the things that's going on in our community and build economic wealth on our own businesses and jobs.
You talking about black people?
I'm talking about 3.1 million. I mean, people that say we believers, that we believe
that identify
as a Christian. And it's 173 million across the whole nation that says that. So when we talk about what's happening at the border, let's say if we believe that that's traumatized and that shouldn't happen, we can buy an island with $173 million a month coming in.
But you ain't going to get all of them.
No, I'm just saying, but that's what I'm looking at.
Hypothetically speaking.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I like to speak in real
I get you.
I don't like, what I'm saying, because I don't know.
But I'm a believer, because I didn't see nothing come out of something. For I come up out of
but you ain't gonna be
project.
you got to look at the whole picture. You understand? If you come down here talking about, you a God, and you really trying to move, you trying to do this, man, it's an enemy out there, dog.
Yeah, I face
in physical form.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't just gonna let you run around here and do this and do this. We need money. I don't like to get around and people talking about, I don't need no money. I can do this without money. No, you need money.
So nobody at this table is saying that.
Nobody at this table is saying. You got to get money so that you can even reach the people in the hood. How you gonna get a dope boy to stop selling dope and you can't replace what he getting on his own with no money? He don't see you with no money. He don't see you. You ain't telling him nothing.
You're right.
I'm talking about even a child.
Right.
You're not telling them anything.
Yeah.
So if you got money and you moving like a king's supposed to move, and your people with you, now you got kids looking up. They got another glass to drink out of now. Instead of just looking at the dope boy live how he live, he looking at PFG come through here like and giving to the people. And you see what I'm saying? And fixing up houses in the neighborhood. I got a program that I sat down with Strickland and talked about. The STOP program. It's called Stop Students Talking Out Problems. I'm trying to go through every neighborhood and get an abandoned house and turn it into a stop house. Have a big stop sign in the middle of the yard, and that's a safe haven for the kids in the neighborhood. They can come there. Police can frequently come through there and interact with them without arresting them. You see what I'm saying?
What was his response?
He talked to me, for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
I don't know. I'm asking.
He spoke to me well, to be honest with you. He spoke and tried to, tell me, look, you can go here and do this, and it's all good.
Okay.
But I found from that meeting that we don't need them. All we have to do is get to the people. And that's what I've been on a mission to since then. This was 4 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Like I said,
How many people would you say you have gotten to in the 4 years?
That really sat down with me and did paperwork with me.
I guess another way, because look, I'm trying to big up and affirm what you have done. I'm not look, I don't think we are disagreeing at all in what the end game is.
Right.
The end game is our people having adequate power, information, and representation. Right?
Yeah.
I think all of us are agreeing on that.
Yeah.
Right.
And we are also saying we all need adequate access to the resources.
Yeah.
Especially the resources that our people help to produce.
So let me bag up too, brother Flipp, is that too when I speak on this, when I talk about helping our people basically with some of these foundation issues, because evidence and research say that if we deal with it on the beginning, we save money on the end. Well, we can show them who take our taxes and say we're gonna save $5 billion in healthcare and juvenile and kids that are dropping out of high school. I say, okay, if we happen to save that because our communities and our kids are not dealing with that trauma, put that $5 billion back in there, right? That's all I'm saying. If I can show you the money, then I'm looking for the money. If I can't show you the money, then I ain't expecting nothing out of you. But I'm showing you what your study did. You took $1 million+ of our money, played the Sycamore Institute to do this investigation. They investigated. They said this the outcome. Then what? What else we need to talk about? You know what happened 3 weeks ago? We signed into legislation that students across this state is finna now get assessed before they got sitting like I was. Seeing my best friend shot in the head, the next friend shot in the chest, and nobody said nothing. And then you asking me what's wrong with me 30, 40 years later, I'm still dealing with that. Right. And how many people are still dealing with that and could have got it addressed like these kids will now because legislation been passed. So now they're not going to get out like Charlie and act a fool and get out in these streets that we can say we saved that money. Let's reinvest that money, right? That's all I'm saying. The longest I can show you the money, then give me the money so we can continue to do what we're doing to build our community.
I said a couple. Go ahead.
System. Is the system that you asking for this money, in your opinion, is this system righteous or wicked?
So I say this, that it's the same one, the one that Jesus said, give unto Caesar that is Caesar.
Is it righteous or wicked?
They're wicked. They wicked.
So will wicked people do rational things?
Well, listen to this.
How do you know they're not doing what they doing intentionally? They don't care about you showing them no numbers. That's what wicked is.
They know.
You can show them what's going on, and they gonna figure out how not to do what you're talking about.
Right.
That's wicked. You're right. So that's what we need to. That's what I'm saying.
For the record, I never met him before today.
Yeah.
I know y'all might think that he sounds just like me.
He does.
But I ain't never met him before today.
But he sounds like him.
Ain't this our first time meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
You sound like him.
But I keep playing chess.
Yeah. No. Look, I think the reality is this.
Yeah.
We have comprehensive problems that require comprehensive solutions.
Yeah.
You have to have people working from within and working from without. Here's one of the things I really appreciate about you, Charlie.
Yeah.
That I can't say about many of our people who claim to be working within the system.
Yeah.
When you're working within the system, you ain't working in a way that tries to set you up above people who are working outside of the system to make the system accountable. Mm-hmm. You in there saying, no, I know what Earl and them saying, and it's true.
I get kicked out for sitting on this thing.
Go figure, right?
They gonna say somebody.
They'll be like, y'all heard Charlie talking to Flipp and Earl and
I know it, but I know who's righteous. I know who God is, right? And he controls this, right?
And also empowers us to make moves within and outside of the system. I think you're raising a critical question, right? Because what does it mean for us to invest so much in an unrighteous system? However, we have to build the capacity, which means build the people. This is why I was asking you earlier, how many people have you gotten to in over 4 years? Because the point that I was making earlier was not that we don't need people and not that we don't need money. It takes time to build the people in order to have enough resources to funnel the money from a unrighteous source to a more righteous source.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So one thing we know for sure, when we start talking about what it means to have money and all of this other stuff and build this stuff up, during this process, even if we were doing a $3 analogy, $3 out of 10.
Right.
Number one, what if everybody in our community ain't making 10? Right? And what happens when they ain't making but 8, but they got to give the government 3? So now they got 5 left, and we saying we want them to give 3 too? Mm-hmm. That's called double taxation. Mm-hmm. So part of what it means for us, at least for me in Memphis, is when you start talking about representation, people in office are supposed to recognize their responsibility to govern for the majority of the citizenry. And so how do we have people who go into office knowing that the city is 65% black, but expect for us to clap and applaud because we got 7% of an increase in contracts from maybe 12 to 19 or something like that.
That's not to applaud.
That's what I'm saying. So that's part of the perspective that I talk about. And I think all of us are committed to this too. I've heard you say enough to know you committed to it. Educating and enlightening our people so that they would know how this system works. Charlie, you do this.
But it goes back to what Charlie said. You know, our people perish for the lack of knowledge. Mm-hmm. And if they don't know, how would they do it?
So I go back to your point where you said the $3, right? And then you have the thinkers who take the $3, right? So how do we help the people who got the $8? Who got the $8 is that the people, the thinkers who got the 3 know how to build affordable houses and food pantries and stores that don't.
Who don't have $3?
No, I'm there. I don't know. I'm
we just talking and
Hypothetical.
hypothetical.
Well, he was saying like
But there are people who don't have 3 hours.
Hypothetical. No, I've been concrete. Now these folks out here got Jordans, Gucci's, everything that you want.
Whatever you
Man,
want.
don't tell these folks that they ain't got on. I had to do a video. People still thinking like you not poor.
Yeah.
You not poor. She not poor. He not poor. I'm not poor. I don't even know nobody that's poor in America.
Yeah.
If you look at my videos and look at Facebook, whatever, you will see I'm in Africa. I'm with there with people that's poor.
Mm-hmm.
I seen poor.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't it.
Yeah.
This ain't it.
I've been in Eastern Europe and I seen poor. White people poor.
This ain't it.
This ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
So stop giving these people excuses. Talking about they ain't got no $3. You don't want to fund your own revolution?
Yeah.
Then you not part of 300 then. You not PFG. You with them. That's why I say it ain't black and white.
Yeah.
It's black and white spiritually. You either gonna be black, which to me, black is good. They put it in their dictionary. See, if we say they wicked, they put it in their dictionary that black is evil, and this and that, and white is pure, and that and that. I reverse it on my side.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like the Dallas
That's the
Cowboys. They
definition.
don't think everybody on Pittsburgh team the devil. Pittsburgh team think the Dallas Cowboys the devil. You feel me? So being the devil is
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, being the devil is what? It's the what word I'm looking for? It's perceptive or
Perception.
it's all depends on who perception. It all depends on who looking at it. See?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, if you following us, how can we be the devil in the devil running the system, and the devil find himself in opposition to us? We can't be the devil then.
Yeah.
Because the system is not running correctly.
Yeah.
Let's change it. Why are we trying to change something if it's right?
Yeah.
We're trying to change it because it's
Because it's
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
That means we right. Or at least give us the chance to see if we right. That's what I'm saying. Keep doing what you're doing. We ain't telling nobody to stop paying taxes, but throw $3 our way just to see what we can do with the $3. That's all I'm saying. Don't say these people ain't got no $3. Who ain't got $3? I know folks on EBT. They got more stuff than what you got. Who in Memphis ain't got $3? I ain't talking about $3 on your paycheck.
Yeah.
The taxes getting taken out their paycheck.
Yeah.
I'm talking about $3 in the month.
In the giving.
In the giving, man.
Yeah.
So there are people.
You're giving more than that. The people who go to y'all church,
Cigarettes. Yeah.
they giving y'all money every week, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not my church, but go ahead.
But you see what I'm saying? I'm just saying. These people got money.
Not my church.
I'm just telling you.
These people got money.
Yeah.
Don't tell these people. Don't even throw that out there. They got $3. It all depends on what they want to do with the
What
money.
you want to do, right? Yeah.
And if you really want the city to change, we are the ones that's going to change it. Help us change it. And we ain't trying to ask for no whole lot of money.
Right.
Start off with $3.
Yeah.
Now, if we can get 30,000 people to give you $3,
Yeah.
and then they see the change. I'm talking about they see the changes that you making with the money. That $3 gonna turn into 30.
So let me ask you this:
300,000 people give you $30 a month. That's 900,000.
100,000,
Huh?
900,000.
900,000
A month.
a month.
Mm-hmm.
Is
30.
yeah.
9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blew your own mind, then.
Like, damn, hold up. This almost $1 million. Hold up.
30,000.
Listen to what I'm trying. That ain't no money.
Yeah. That ain't no real money.
We gonna show them.
Yeah.
Then in a minute when we gain their trust,
Hey
that's
man,
how you
I'm
gain
sorry,
their
but
trust.
if you say $900,000 a month, that's some money. I don't care how you slice that
This is
up.
what I'm trying to tell you. It all depends on. Man, do you think Rockefeller and them sitting up there talking about you making money at $900,000?
Look. But how many Rockefellers are there in the
I'm one of them. I just ain't got the money because my people came through slavery and they put me at the bottom. That's why I'm gonna start at the bottom, and that's what Drake meant with the song. Started from the bottom and to the top. Yeah, I'm here. You see what I'm saying? So, can't nobody say we ain't, but you with me though.
But that-
so no, you ain't got to. I'm trying to tell you, if you gonna play the game, play the games. Some people you play chess with that you know what I'm saying? You about money?
Yeah.
That ain't no money. You can't defeat these people with no $900,000 a month. They making $900,000 a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that's another perception.
Yeah.
It all depends on who it is. Jay-Z's supposed to have $1 billion. $900,000 a month ain't even $12 million a year.
Right. You ain't even got to hit.
You ain't even. That's what I'm saying. That ain't no money. He's talking about feeding people and doing stuff.
Look, because some of this is perception. I agree.
Yeah.
And some of it is concrete, factual reality. Right, and so I want us to be like I would try to be a
actual reality.
So hold on.
It's no money
Because you're comparing billionaires, individuals, right, to systems. The city of Memphis, as a city,
has $750 million in his budget.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me $12 million in the city of Memphis?
No, it's cool. I ain't gonna get into that. You cool? It is some money. It's some money. No, it's some money.
Because even the idea when
It's
we
some
start
money.
saying,
Let's not stay on that because we gonna lose focus.
It's
some money. Only thing I'm saying, I didn't know it was $900,000 when I think about $900,000. We can do a lot with it. What I'm trying to tell you is when they see what we doing with the money, they'll keep giving because they see we doing. We gain their trust. That's when I said, then you'll start getting money.
So
then you'll start people like Harry Belafonte and them who kids who he was trying to fund.
Let me jump in. Hold on. Let me jump in.
Start cutting checks. NBA players got somewhere to put their money now.
No, I mean, I think that there are enough organizations doing some wonderful work using the models that we have described already, that if it was just as simple as getting people to buy into the model, that we would already have this stuff done. Like, I mean, it's obviously something a little bit more complex than just the model that we're talking about is a wonderful, righteous model. And the reason I'm going back to what I think is concretely important, because I came in to talk about the political landscape, point blank period. So I'm going to keep angling back to that. In the grand scheme of the globe, $12 million in a year may not be much. But if you start talking about in Memphis, then you moving some stuff for real, right? With $12 million, because that's almost like 10%.
We wouldn't be talking about gentrification in North Memphis right now.
If you had $12 million.
Listen to me. That's the problem right there. You talking about the 12 million. I started with $3. Your mind went to the 12 million.
No, that ain't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's wrong. Like people say, "Oh, what's gonna do with the money?"
No, that ain't how this.
You ain't getting number 300, dog.
I get what
I'm talking about. I'm going from experience of what me doing with these 300 organizations. 300 dudes get up, put $300. They was worried about where the 90 was going. You ain't putting up with $300 down there. Why you worried about the 90? You just don't want me to have it.
But that goes back to what happened.
$3 is nothing.
But
that's what we was talking about. But we gonna turn that $3. You turn 30,000 people give you $3.
That's right.
Now you got something.
So now you got to build up. I hear you. So now you got to build up to 30,000 people, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm asking you again, going back to the question from a minute ago. Okay. You've had 4 years at this, at least, right? How many people have you built up in 4 years?
Can I bring my paperwork?
Just give me a rough estimate. I ain't asking for.
Probably got about 110 a year, people.
Okay, so 110, which is, look, first of all, anybody who's been organizing,
that's a small church.
Yes, sir. And look, you can make some major moves with 110 people on board. But if the goal was 30,000, you got 100 in 4 years. How many years you think it's going to take you to get to 30,000?
My goal was 30,000. I just brought it up because I done got to the table with three more people. Right. Then when you look at the people, I'm going to say a real number. Right. That's a real number. Yeah. Out there now that people been trying to friend me. I got probably about 30,000 people trying to be my friend now. Okay, you my friend. Prove you my friend. Shoot me $3.
Yeah, look. Somebody.
And see what I do with it. See, people think they can talk and say, ooh, we cool. You got to put some money down on it. Yeah. You can't just be talking. Right. And I ain't said number $3. So I might just be saying this for your audience. It might not even be, because I can shoot my cash out out there. $300 is the way. I swear somebody posted. Look, if you believe in it, you want to be part of the 30,000 and help me get this. What's that? With 90,000, 30,000 people give me $3 a month. That's $90,000. And you want to see some changes in the city? I bet y'all hear about me. I bet y'all hear about me. And see, the thing is, you can't be ready to bend because if I get to doing real things with that $90,000, that wicked man coming, right? So either he gonna be killing me or God gonna stop him from killing me. So let's see if he kill me or not.
I do really appreciate putting God to the test.
Brother,
they gonna bend.
But let's bring it back to where we're going. Let's bring it back to the election. Let's bring it back because that's good. That's where we at. Let's bring it back because it still all ties into one. I'm just watching and listening to y'all because it's actually pretty interesting, and a lot of people don't even know about it. So that's actually good that we're having this dialogue at the table. But we still got to bring back to what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah. So look, I do think what we are talking.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your statement.
No, you should say something.
This is the Towanna Murphy show.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
This is my show, but I'm good. Thank you.
pray. I commend you. For real.
Yeah.
You put it together.
Yeah.
You call me on the humble. Say, I'm here, right?
Yeah.
You hit me up, I'm like, I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
Because I'm in town. I'm here. Come on. That's what it's for.
So if you think about it, what we have all been.
Sorry.
You straight. Well, we have
You got
all.
a good heart, dog.
Can't you
I see
tell?
your face. I see how you move. I know your heart is pure.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be in there. And see, I'm trying to build a machine to where when I jump out there in the politics, when I say, okay, this is what we vote for, and they gonna hurry up and go and put them in there. It ain't gonna be no debate no more. Can I use the restroom?
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be no, what's PFG with my guy, with you, and they know who we are, and we 300 strong, and we say, this the person right here, that's that on it. We ain't got to talk no more. Then they come to the table with people who got that type of power. That's why they had to come to the table with Martin Luther King. And Martin Luther King could say, look, we're going to have a rally over here. And he had a team behind him, but they knew his face was 100,000 people to show up on his word.
Yep.
That's power.
That's power.
That's what we need to build. Unity.
Yeah. The guest is going to the restroom.
Yeah.
Go on the restroom. We're gonna be right back. It's gonna get interesting when he come back.
You want us to pause?
No, we can keep talking. We still talking.
So up the vote.
Because I'm still I'm still
Good.
I'm still recording.
So part of what I think is important, because what we are talking about does connect back
does
to the
connect.
political landscape.
Yes.
Because we're talking about people.
Yeah.
You got to have people out in terms of raising their voices to vote.
Uh-huh.
You talk about resources, ultimately, because now you're talking about what people have the capacity to do based upon money that comes from the taxes. And you're also talking about systems, the way things operate right now, because people are maneuvering in certain ways and they are governing in certain ways. So, look, I'm with Flipp with the general consensus of what it means to have righteous people in place, what it means to be mindful of how the system is going to work for you or work against you, and what it means to be able to direct your resources into certain ways that ultimately will impact what's happening in the communities. But going back to the point that we was talking about, Charlie, and you know this to be true, like you talked about outworking the state of Tennessee, right? And ultimately having to get some funds that the state ultimately couldn't get, right? If anybody did a pound for pound analysis of what is happening on the electoral landscape in Memphis and Shelby County, compare the amount of money Up the Vote gets to the amount of money that the Shelby County Election Commission gets, who you think doing the work for real? You see what I'm saying? But now you have to figure out, how do you get people in place? This is part of where you were ending up. How do you get people in place that are ultimately going to say, we see the vision, we see who is doing the work, we see where the resources need to go? Because right now what we have is a white economic monopoly controlling the resources, and when I say resources, I'm talking about now black tax dollars. I know black folks ain't the only folks, or even the majority of folks who own real estate, but we are the majority of the citizens in the city and the county, and there are other taxes outside of real estate taxes. You got gas taxes, we buy gas. You got grocery taxes, we buy groceries. We ain't raising our own food, and you got sales taxes. So we buy all kind of stuff. So when you talk about these Jordans, all this other stuff we paying into this pot. And then a white economic monopoly gets to tell us
and we buy chicken sandwiches.
Where the money go. I ain't mad at folks buying chicken sandwiches. Look, maybe we just need more black folks franchising Popeyes. But again, outside of all of that, until we get an infrastructure in place that is going to help dictate and determine, not just waiting for you or waiting for me or waiting for us to get everybody to the table at the same time. Because as you were saying before we even got on air,
that's exactly what it is.
Here's what I would have you to know.
That's exactly what.
How old is PFG?
I told you, 1996.
1996. I'm sure that there are organizations out there that would say that they had the same framework. But you also said you have corralled and organized over 100 people in the last 4 years. So that's what I'm really trying to give you credit for. I know the concept and the idea may have been birthed back in the late 90s, but we're talking about you've been on the ground, organizing people, getting people together at least the last 4 years.
You to understand something. PFG don't belong to me.
Speak up a little.
Yeah.
PFG does not belong to me. I'm just here as a vessel. God, who controls the universe, is the CEO.
Well, we're gonna say the same thing about our organizations too.
So
you see what I'm saying?
But what's the name of your organization?
So one is Up to Vote 901. But even if I was just talking about Abyssinian Baptist Church.
Hold up, the Abyssinian Baptist Church.
Okay.
Everybody can't pretty much say that they are a member of Abyssinian Baptist Church.
Why not? Everybody who can say they're a member of PFG can say they're a member of Abyssinian.
Players for God.
Abyssinian Baptist Church is a bunch of players for God.
Yeah.
Male, female.
See that?
No.
Hold up. He proved my point. He
what's
said
the point?
Abyssinian Baptist Church are a bunch of players for God.
Yeah.
Now you can't.
I was just
hold
adopting.
up. You can't take players for God and say all players for God are members of
Abyssinian?
Abyssinian.
Yes, you
Baptist
can.
Church.
What I'm trying to say to you is, yes, you
No,
can.
you can't.
If we're using the same philosophy. If
Oh,
I'm the
no,
pastor
you
of Abyssinian,
can't.
how come we
Because
can't?
that's why my God gave it to me. Because everybody can get under that umbrella who believe in the one God theory.
So here's why I'm going to say this is a problem.
PFG is
Hear me out,
every
Flipp.
church.
Hear me out, Flipp. Here's why I'm going to say this is a problem. Now, I want to be very concrete in saying this is a problem.
Yeah.
Because so many of us have the same unction that God gave us this wonderful vision, which it is wonderful. So that's not the problem. The problem is that we feel like everybody has to organize under our particular unction and vision.
You just said it. We need an infrastructure.
I was doing. Yes, we do need an infrastructure.
Is the infrastructure going to have a name?
It's possible. I'm not sure.
It's possible.
Should
but
it be Abyssinian Baptist Church?
It's possible. I'm not sure.
But the
Even if it is, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll be a part of it. I
Yeah.
can keep doing what I'm doing to give you the infrastructure. Like now, what you need me to do with Abyssinian Baptist Church?
Help us to increase voter turnout. Well, Abyssinian, I'm not going to say Abyssinian right now. I'm going to say up the vote.
Up the vote.
Because that's what I came to talk about. I didn't come
Right.
to talk about Abyssinian. We can talk about that, afterwards.
But I'm with that.
But so look, so now we talking about what the solution is.
Right.
So forget what I was saying the problem was.
Okay.
The solution is this. I'm here for you. Let me know how I can help PFG.
Yeah.
You say, I'm here for you. Let me know how I can help up the vote. So
yeah.
you see what I'm saying? That is the solution. But what usually happens, so what I was saying the problem was, and I think you just diverted away from it with this behavior. Because at first it was, no, my organization is the one that everybody can organize or get underneath.
And that's where it comes to. He's right about it. You've been out here a long time. Is when you start saying my or kills everybody else that feel like they're.
I didn't say mine.
No,
I said PFG.
PFG. So PFG and then
It's not mine.
So POG
It's God's, right?
Yeah.
See that?
And God is using you.
And you too.
I know.
Because you PFG too.
Right. So
He ain't just using me. He using her. She PFG. She believe in God. Some people might get in there and don't believe in God, but we gonna move like God regardless.
So let's say this, PFG. Can we use a real number of around this work? What you talking about is that you just said something that we are 60% of the votes in Shelby County.
not 60% of the votes. 60%.
I mean, I'm
of the
not
population.
voting.
Yeah,
Population.
65% of the
Of the
population.
65% of the population.
And it's going down, by the way. Folks should know that,
Yeah.
right? I think it was
Yeah.
65. It might be like 62 now.
Yeah, because when I grew up in Dixon Home, like in Light Court right now, when white people swimming in our swimming pools like it is now, but that have changed. So we got a lot of gentrification coming, and a lot of things are shifting.
Yeah.
Yet to that point, if we're 60%, and you said like just saying, Memphis, like we got a structure, infrastructure. Just like you would pay your light, gas, and water bill each month, you give $3 each month, which comes out to roughly, I'm gonna say 360,000 people, probably a little bit more. You're talking about $1 million a month that we say we want to go towards economic development in our community, right? That's every month we pay anyway, right? Let's say that, or we say we add it on, and we'll pay it once a year when we pay our tax dollar. $3 times 12 times those 360,000 people. You're talking about almost $12-13 million a year,
Right.
And we doing economic development through the infrastructure that's there, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk to the people about that, right? Those people that's living in this community now. How do we create that? How do we go from change there without being divided? Even after this election over, whoever wins this election, we still need to have this talk.
Yeah.
We still need to
I gotta
be
bring
talking
y'all
about
back. This is
how
good.
do
I'm actually
we
just listening.
build from that foundation of what we already got here. Until as long as they can keep us. See, it's gonna be
Can I
people
say
mad
something? Can I
after.
say
Go
something?
ahead.
That what you saying is for the small think tank.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah, I know.
They out here fooling these people, they can use these people and make these people go to Popeyes this week. They can put another commercial out there.
Who was
They
the
go
day
to
you talking
Wendy's.
about right now?
The system.
Okay.
The people who got the money, the real money. You see what I'm saying? Because they the ones who can put $15 million into a commercial and program people like that. Those are the ones I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? So they moving, and that's who I'm in competition with. Really, I think it things. What I'm trying to tell,
that's the enemy, bro. That was the enemy trying to shut this down.
They can't shut it down. That's all good. We still, because you can't shut me down from talking to you right here.
It's all good.
That's all, because you powerful and you're on right, she is, and her on right, and I'm still gonna be talking to you. They can't, they caught enough. Because I got people hit me up now. Keep on going.
Yeah.
See, what I'm saying is, look, man, I'm in here to play the game. I don't know what y'all do. I'm playing the game. The game is to be played like a chess game. And I'm really out here playing the game. Everywhere.
Yeah.
See, I'm not just in. See, if you start talking about real PFG members, I found out, and my God let me see the real PFG members that I'm going to, that I came to get, is in Africa. When I went to Senegal, I was speaking to people, and people didn't even speak English. Understood what I was saying.
I love it there.
I got film, and you watch me on my film. That's where my people come. If I call a meeting over there, 15 to 16,000 people can come, because I done rented the whole space out. I put music out there for them, and they was performing, and people came and listened to King Flipp. I got a couple of people hit me up now. You see what I'm saying? So now, even in the Word, I listened to this. I knew the Word. I grew up in the Word. That man say I performed many miracles, except for where I come from. It's the same thing with me. I've been all over the world. I've been doing business in Europe. I've been doing business in Cyprus. I've been doing everywhere in 3 continents. The hardest for me to do anything is when I come back here.
Come home.
Because everybody think they the same, and everybody think you ain't nothing. You just do. You grew up over there. You went to Central High School. You ain't nobody. You ain't better than me. You ain't. And I ain't trying to be.
Right.
I'm just trying to organize the people where I come from, because I know I came from. Y'all is almost like Superman. Superman cold on Earth, but he go back where he come from. Everybody just like him. So I'm trying to come and organize my people. If I can do what I done over the world, just imagine if I could organize my people and what we'll be doing. The whole world will be looking like, man, I'm so much.
I hate to cut y'all off, y'all, because this is a good session. I'm telling you, this is good. I'm about to bring y'all back, and they got to go, but we want to still talk about what you guys are doing right here, the donations. So I'm going to have Charlie go ahead.
I just say something real quick. This week, those know our people in Bahamas, over 70,000 people have is right now living in the streets of the Bahamas. We know that island was wiped out 3 weeks ago. This weekend at the Block Party for Peace, the State Representative Parkland is hosting at 3385 Austin P. We're going to have a truck out there. We're going to fill that truck up. We're talking about bringing canned goods, food, box fans. I got a bunch of fans we've been collecting already. We're going to send this stuff over. We're partnering with New Birth Church in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to take that truck. He got 4 cargo planes that'll be leaving out each week for the next 4 weeks, going to take items over there. Memphis, let's step up in the mighty way. The brother talked about Dr. Martin Luther King earlier. We know what Dr. Martin Luther King High School in Fraser, we just had our kids to go on the show there, how they show love towards each other. They didn't let color barriers stop them. This ain't about black or white. This is about humanity. This is your opportunity to give back this weekend from September the 27th through the 29th. We'll be out there all 3 days from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. each night. Come donate every day and enjoy a whole bunch of other fun that's going to be going on at the Block Party for Peace. Let's give back. Legacy of Legends is my organization. You can reach me at 901-236-4604 or go to legacyoflegendscdc.com.
First, salute to Chef Chris.
Yes, sir.
This is definitely top 5 salmon I ever had in my life. And I'm a salmon type of guy. So Chef Chris,
yes, sir.
1,000.
Yes.
Right? You can speak to the chicken on the brick, but the salmon. Okay, so
He let it get cold, so it's not going to it's chicken on the brick.
So look, Up to Vote 901 on Facebook, uptovote901.com, uptovote901@gmail.com. We are trying to push people out to the polls this week. Early voting is going on. Saturday is the last day for early voting. You can vote at any precinct. We actually have a couple of voter empowerment symposiums going on this week. These are instances where we sit down with people, give them the overview of every office, walk them through the ballot, give them access to people's platforms through their campaign websites and all this other stuff, help them build their voter plans. So ultimately they can take their voter plan and go directly to the ballot box and cast their vote. We are behind the numbers from 2015. In 2015, only 28% of registered voters participated in the election. We are on pace to have less than 28%. When turnout is that low, people govern in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So when Charlie was talking about what happens in these particular neighborhoods and where the CDCs send their money and who gets grants and stuff like that, that's based upon not just who was elected for mayor, but especially who was elected for city council. Every seat is up in the municipal election this year.
Mm-hmm.
So do all you can to get all of the information you can up to Vote 901. We'll be at the Alpha Education Foundation building tomorrow at 5 p.m. with the men of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated having a voter empowerment symposium, and we hope to have at least one or two more throughout the end of the week. But we are definitely pushing for everybody to get fully informed, fully involved, fully invested, because we need more power, information, and representation, especially for black folks in Memphis.
All right.
Flipp.
Oh, $ up to Vote 901. That's the cash app. My birthday Thursday. I ain't supposed to hustle like this. So $Dr. Earl Fisher. That's EARLEFISHER. Abyssinian Baptist Church, 3890 Mill Branch in the windy part of Whitehaven. Holla.
Hold on. Cash out, $3B leader.
Cash out to Towanna Murphy.
See that? Nice to meet you.
What, you don't say your last spiel. You got your last spiel. Say something to the vote.
We've been talking about PFG.
Right. We've been arguing back and forth, but this has been good. This has been really good.
I appreciate you.
Really good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This has been good. You got to sign off before I sign off.
PFG 300 strong. Cash at me. 300 is the way. $300 is the way. You're gonna see some changes before your eyes every day because I'm gonna document everything.
So once again, I want to thank you, Flipp, for coming.
Salute to Towanna.
Fisher.
Again, and y'all doing follow
Caswell.
Towanna. Everybody on my page.
Follow
Towanna.
Follow me.
My
Follow
numbers need to
me.
go up. She need to have at least about 300,000 by next week.
What you said, I want 300,000 by next week.
By next week.
That's
Good.
it.
Now that's
300,000.
power. You can do that.
That's power.
That ain't no money.
That ain't no money.
Just go
That's
and
money.
subscribe.
Just that's it. And
YouTube,
follow.
President.
I'm on. I am on iHeart, Spotify, TuneIn. I have my own app. You can download my own app, WDM. You can stream me, WDMRadio.com, and you can listen live to this show. This show will be live again in about next 20 minutes. When I'm done, you can go iHeart and listen to it, Spotify, listen to it. You can also catch me on Apple Podcasts. You can catch me on Google Podcasts. You can catch me a whole lot of places.
Ain't you the only African American female with a station like this?
Yes, sir.
So the people need to know that.
Yes, I am the first female black-owned operated radio station in Memphis. I am the fourth black woman to own a radio station built from scratch in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I am still pushing for it.
All right.
I think my what I'm trying to do now is get a tower so I can cover the whole city,
Yeah.
not just a fourth of the
And
city.
that's why you got the cash out. Folks.
Right. That's why you got to cash at me.
Let's make it
$ Towanna Murphy.
I'm sending something.
And
All
so
right.
I am.
On my birthday, I'm sending you something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm adamant about that because, like, I think Flipp had said something we talked the other day, and I've always talked to Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm talking a lot. I call and ask all kind of questions. But it's like you said, we have to learn to come together as a people. When people say, I'm going to support this black business, I'm going to support this black role, I'm the only black female station owner. Everything's black owned. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
My airways, everything's black owned. I own it. Even though I got a port, I still own it. Ain't nobody giving it to me. It's mine. So you say, well, we got WLOK, who's black owned. No, Flynn owns that airways. So it's not black owned. I want to still own my airways as well. I don't want to have to get it from nobody else. I want it to be mine. I want to say Towanna own these airways. I don't have to be able to go to Flynn or to iHeart or somebody else and say, oh, well, they're going to give me the tower. So guess what? I'm still not the owner. Because if they take it away, it's no longer mine no more. It's, because it's gone. So I want to be able to stay in control of what I do, in control of my airways.
All right.
So that's what I want. Thank y'all for listening to Politics, Food, and Fun with Towanna Murphy right here on WDM 98.5 FM. And I will see y'all later. Thank y'all so much for coming.
Thank y'all.
Peace.